I've got a Starlink Mini, so I want to put that. So this is the original, I guess the standard TV area on the roof that worked over in England, because this Caravan's from England, so it's quite handy. So I could use this, and it's got like a little rotatory device here for turning it around and or angling it, so that might be quite handy for a satellite. And it's all already waterproofed, and so it actually will work out quite good. I think this will just slide out, and then it's just goes on to this splitter thing here. So what I intend to do is, it's got a power supply here, so that'd be quite good for the satellite or the Starlink module. So I've just got to run power off this line here. So we don't need that, so I'll just cut that off, and that'll become the power supply for it. This can all go because we don't need it anymore. And then on the roof we'll just take the plastic Starlink, well, not the on the roof we'll take the aerial off, and we'll modify it to hold the Starlink. We'll modify it to hold the Starlink. But so we'll have a look on the roof. Yeah, so that there is what I want to take off, and we will modify it so it can hold the Starlink. So I don't know how that's going to look, but as per usual, we'll just give it a crack and see what happens.
Hi guys and gals and the undecided, Gary here from Mega Mat Workshop, where we fix, repair, sometimes break and have to fix again. Let's get into it. Yeah, hi guys, I've just started with the Starlink Mini, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to power up a booster. So we want to go from 12 volts up to 30 volts that runs the Starlink Mini. So here I've chopped the wires back. I've left about 2 meters, so it plugs into the actual end of the Starlink itself. And then to my right there, you can see like it's a 10 amp booster. So all I'm going to do here is just strip the wires off, solder them up, put a bit of heat shrink on it, as you can see, and then we'll fit it to the step up booster. The reason why we do this is because if you're in the Caravan, the Starlink might drop out at 12 volts. So if you run the pump, it might dip below that. So we end up doing this just to make sure it keeps above the actual voltage. Here you can see that the actual voltage got about 30 volts is what we're after on that side, and then we've got 12 volts on the power supply, pulling about 2.7 amps. So that's not too bad. Just 2.9, so we'll turn it off. Yep, so that's all looking really good. Nothing out of the ordinary. They said it pulls about 30-40 watts, so that's kind of where we are in that sort of ballpark. Now here we try to get pulled the old antenna off, and golly, what a freaking mission it was to get it apart, because I was hoping to be able to reuse it. So that pipe, that was about a mil. So in the end I got it apart, but as you can see, it was a bit of a mission. There was sort of, you had to commit. So we ended up, yeah, all things involved trying to get it apart. I just couldn't believe how hard it was to get apart. I guess it's got to be on a Caravan and survive high winds, but in the end I even got the blimmin' saber saw on it trying to cut the mount. So by the time I did get it apart, there wasn't actually much left of it to be able to use. So there we go, brought in the heavy artillery. But yeah, even that, it was just, it had to be vicious with it. So then I moved on to, I got some fully new brackets made up. I got some 36 mil thick wall tubing. Got it from AliExpress. So that was what, just bought a length of it. Then I made it work. He had the aluminium welding skills, so I got him to weld it all together with the bits I had. And I sort of copied one I'd seen on the internet. And here I just drilled 2 6 mil holes just to clamp the 2 bits together. Because what I intend to do is to be able to take the dish off and then take it away if I'm traveling somewhere else. We're talking about going to Melbourne on a Caravan holiday. And here I found that there was like a 3 mil gap in between. So I thought, yep, that'll work. So I'll just cut out a 3 mil spacer on the old laser cutter, as you do. It's very handy to have. Then we put it back there and reassemble it So that's all looking pretty good. Put a bit of RTV in the top there. Just there's only about a 6mm hole that goes through to the actual van itself. So it's actually pretty happy the way it all came out. Yeah, and it seemed pretty firm. I mean, I didn't think it was going to move anywhere. So the first trip away, that actually proved to be okay. No, look, I'm pretty happy the way it turned out. And for a home job, it didn't cost me, only cost me a bit of tube, and I had the aluminium and other bits lying around, so it's all good. Right, looks like we are looking pretty good with the mount. She's not pretty, but I think she's pretty robust, so we'll go mount it on the Caravan. Yeah, so here on the Caravan, it's a bit windy, so but I'm just going to do a bit of a voiceover for you. So it actually works out really good. It's a very stable mount. I just have to put the wire through the hole there. So I got a fair bit of it. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't, the cable that comes with the Starlink Mini is really long. It must be 4 or 5 meters if anything. So, and it's a nice tight fit. That tube I got from AliExpress was really good. I mean, that's the only thing I had to spend money on, so that's even better. And it was just a little bit thicker. The original tube that I could have used was only like a mil wall thickness, and all the other metal is 3mm. So give Ollie, big shout out to Ollie, give him a fighting chance of getting it all welded up nicely. Then that way it all becomes a really solid mount. So. And I've been away with it, and it didn't move at all. So I'm real happy with it, and it holds flat and everything like that. So big thumbs up on that little bad boy. Yeah, give it a bit of a test there, and give it a bit of a dust off. Make sure it's all happy and clean and tidy before it meets the elements for a while. But yeah, that's a good job. Yep, steady as, good to go. Give it a big thumbs up. Right, so here's the final installation. Here's the power cord I was going to use, but it wasn't very good, so I ended up putting another cable through from the actual mains down below. Because the other thing I think I had was a problem with the actual current limit on this, because when I first powered it up it wasn't running. So I took it back and I had to adjust the thing, so I actually wind it out to reduce the current limiting. And so then when I put the power on from a cigarette lighter power on this cable here, was a lot better, and the Starlink powered up quite nicely, and we had it away in the weekend. It went really well. So no, it was good. It pulls about 2 amps probably. So it's a bit rough at the moment. I'll go through and tidy it up at a later date, but I think we'll call it good, and we'll come back later on once I give it a big tidy up. Thank you.